Asbies. Oh god, I don't know if I'm too loud or not, so I'm gonna have to rely on you just for when we do the grace period. All right. So you have the link, right? And it says like
It's already open.
Not operating or
Stand
something.
by 1 minute and 15 second, 14, 13,
Okay.
12.
I'm clicking start streaming now.
I see.
All right, here we go. Tell me when it actually beeps on, and we'll get started.
Okay.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba, we'll probably still need like 5 minutes or so as a grace period, even then, just to.
It's like start interview. Please wait 5 extra minutes to start the interview.
And if you want,
just
go
let the
ahead
timer
and
out.
spread the link around if you want.
I guess.
Just whoever you think would care to watch it, and even a few people who you think wouldn't care. Just just have the fun with it. I'm going to hand.
Oh, I can hear it. We are starting.
Alright, I'm pasting the link to, just a few.
Like the interview's already started. Like if they kind of started like you have the link pasting and like it's already going.
Okay, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We're okay. Let me check the actual thingamajigger. Hold on. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna mute this. Streaming, good. Thank you, Solar Flare. You're always so awesome.
Oh yes.
See, he's been such a good guy. Like, he's always been commenting, and usually it's positive stuff. We need more people like him.
I love you.
Okay, well, anybody who's watching at the time, this is the grace period, as I've said like 500 times in a row, so don't freak out if we're just rambling for a bit. We'll get things sorted out in just a sec. Wow, 4 people watching already. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, very.
I'm just going to lay down a few of the rules, and do I sound alright?
I believe so.
Okay. The rules are going to be as follows. Naga here has agreed to be part of this interview. So, hi Naga!
Hi!
And,
Oh god.
oh, yeah, oh goodness. Anyhow, Naga's agreed to take part in this interview of, well, if you don't already know, check the description. There was a certain, juicy event that happened with very, very, very naughty consequences. And so we're here to talk about that.
Ah, yes. I guess you could say that.
Alright, I'm going to refresh that thing, because even I can't see myself yet. Are we up? Good? We're at 4 minutes, 30 seconds or so in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to be able to see myself, but... Okay. Oh, that's live? Oh, it says 2 minutes 28, right? 2 minutes 30? 2 minutes 2.
I'm gonna click the button live. Oh, yeah, 2 minutes 35.
Okay, beautiful. So this should be it. Hello, Kid Jaden. Hello, Solar Flare. Those are the people I see right now. This is the first interview, and we're going to have a fun time covering it. Okay, everybody? Yeah? Okay. We're only 3 minutes in. Grace period is not over yet. Is there anything you want to say before we start?
I don't know, apparently one of my friends says, fix your mic, bro, you sound like you're screaming into it. I was like, ah.
He's probably talking about me, right?
I honestly don't know, he was messaging me.
Be more specific, my friend. Be
It
more
says, fix
specific.
your mic, BR000, you sound like you are screaming.
Then it's probably me.
I don't know.
Guys, if you're in the chat, please tell me if I'm screaming into the microphone, because I don't want to kill anybody's ears.
I don't want to kill anybody either.
Right now I'm using my Turtle Beaches, and so my audio doesn't sound too loud to me, but it might sound incredibly horrible to you. Just say so.
Let me just actually...
Oh, does it hurt you at all? I hope not.
It's not that bad.
Not
that bad.
Alright, good. Good.
Alright, I am told that, Brandy, you must eat a child.
If you want me to eat a child, everyone, Oh goodness, I do sound a bit scratchy, don't I?
I guess you could say that.
But I also sound sexy scratchy.
Super sexy scratchy.
Okay, well, once the grace period ends on there, we can get started. I've got a fairly large list of questions. Now, remember, if there's something you don't want to answer, all you have to do is say you either don't want to answer or no comment. Once again, double check, make sure I'm not, like, unable to talk.
Okay.
Alright, so how do I fix my scratchy voice? Huh. If you want me to eat a child, everyone. Oh goodness, I do sound a bit scratchy.
I don't know, you sound a little scratchy, but it's not that bad.
Alright, not enough to kill any babies?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Not even enough to really make them cry, unless it's just a really, really annoying baby.
Okay then, lovely. This is only my second time doing any live streaming, so please be lenient. Okay, so we're at 5 minutes 30 whatever seconds. I guess we can begin with our questions. First off, for any newcomers who have only just seen the link and are just like, oh shit, we have to, check in. Let's introduce ourselves. I am today's host, Brandy. And my guest is...
Aloha, my name is Mr. Naga 10, or now it is Exedra, R.E.
Ooh, I love fancy names.
Fancy makes swag ones.
Okay, it's reasonably late at night. It's 8:20 p.m. for me, since, I live in Eastern America time. It's all good. Nobody's going to be too sleepy. Don't worry, we're not going to fall asleep on you.
Well, that would be...
Send this link if you want to your buddies. Get as many people to watch as you want. It's up to you. Right now, it's our job to just report this little side. Yes. We're going to be interviewing not only Mr. Naga, but we're also going to be interviewing a group of the admins of Machinima Union as they come. So look up for that in the future.
I like how there's that one dislike on the video.
Forget the dislikes.
Yeah.
Really?
Little guy.
I just get a random Skype thing saying, eat a baby.
You too?
Yeah. Oh, goofball. Okay, I'll try not to deep throat my mic. We ready to go? You ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So, the stream just shows Skype, right?
Yeah, that's from what I see. I see my own screen, and they add to the right. That really is...
Good, because, I don't want anybody looking at any of my other windows for, privacy reasons. I've got Norton running, and oh my god. But, I have a full document with, information that I've gathered so far on the case already, but the point of this interview is to get a more personal approach and possibly get information that we haven't already received. So, without calling names of any sources, we will begin. Okay, so, Naga, when approximately did the site go down?
I'm trying to remember that, actually. I believe it was Tuesday. I'm trying to remember, honestly. It was... Oh, wow. It's either Monday or Tuesday morning. It was...
Monday, Tuesday?
No, Monday morning. Monday morning it was.
Monday morning. Yeah, that looks about right. In my file, I have it listed as 30 to the 31st of March. Okay. That's good. How many site administrators were online at the time, or are you able to tell that sort of thing?
It's hard to tell. Since my Gmail was hacked, once the site goes down and everything's changed, it's kind of hard to access it. And kind of especially since the majority of it were, you'd see my account appear, so there wouldn't really be any danger or harm, and then all of their permissions were changed, and then everything else was changed, so no one could find the site, such as the URL. So everything was changed, and then none of them could access the site admin panel to change everything back. So really, it's like handcuffing them to a bar and sending them off or deporting them to some third world country. They don't know what's going on.
Now, a few of the questions we have on here were written before we got certain bits of information. Even though they're already more or less answered by what we already know, I'd like to ask them again, more or less. Remember, not listing any sources, not pointing any fingers, not saying any names. Do you think at the time any of the administrators could have been the culprit?
Not exactly. I mean, it's possible. I'm not exactly like trying to blame anyone, saying, "Oh yes, I know exactly who did it," or "I have a huge hunch on it." Honestly, I wouldn't really think it was them, honestly, because they could have done it a long time ago if they honestly wanted to. There wasn't really any kind of fight or anything earlier on before all this, so I wouldn't really think they'd try and waste their time with it.
Are there any other reasons they wouldn't have done it?
I don't know. I mean, since they've been held, like every admin's been putting in about an equal amount of time to help the site grow, I highly doubt they'd want to bring it down so quickly. Or
All right. So you're saying that after putting so much time into it, it would be kind of counterintuitive to take it down themselves.
I guess, yeah. I mean, why waste my time if my goal would be already to try and take it down?
Okay. That makes perfect sense. Is Machinima Union part of Machinima? No, Happy Drone, I don't think so, but, whatever. Okay, continuing on with the next question. There was a bit of a question of how the Machinima Union website connected to the Machinima Union channel.
I mean, my Gmail or email was actually connected.
And
it was connected to both my YouTube and Machinima Union YT channel as well. So I mean, once they had a hold of that, they had everything pretty much.
I see. So having a hold of your channel would give them access to the forum site.
Yes. Well, not exactly. I mean, considering, the email that I did use for my YouTube was also connected to my account on MU.
I see.
I guess they kind of
piece two things together.
Yeah.
Okay. Was the Machinima Union channel your personal channel, and then you changed it to become Machinima Union, or did you have your own channel to the side?
It was. I just created a new channel for MU.
Okay.
Connected directly to my email.
I do recall on the Vine that people were saying that your channel was also affected, and I didn't understand that at the time, but
it was at first. I was when I actually did find out about all this in the morning when I did wake up, it was my site or my channel was deleted as YouTube told me. I went I tried to access my channel. It just kind of said this channel's been deleted, so that happened, and then all the events occurring afterwards. When I had returned home from school that day, I open up my browser, and there's my channel sitting there unscathed, and I'm just kind of speechless. I don't really...
I suppose that must have been a nasty egg to sit on during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Just that impending doom, and then relief at the end.
Somewhatly.
Okay.
Relief, yeah.
Okay, going on. Do you think the events that happened... do you think they had anything to do with the dislikes that were appearing on the Machinima Evolved weekly update when there were, 15 to 30, I think, dislikes on it?
I think it was about like 32 or 36.
It was an insane amount. Do you think it had anything to do with these events?
Possibly. I mean, I don't exactly see there being a group of people just hating both sites. I mean, there might be a few people hating both sites because of what's been going on, but I don't exactly see like a group of people saying, "Hey, we have the ability to hack, and here's these two sites. Let's take down the bigger one." Or something. Honest.
Indeed.
I don't really think so. Honestly, to be honest, I just kind of see the dislikes as people who don't exactly either didn't like the update or they just don't like virus, or they don't like the people who are in it, or they're quote unquote from Union on our side.
I see.
I guess you could say.
I do recall that in a recent video by Digital Virus himself, he mentions that most of the dislikes were possibly from spam bots and the like. Would that mean there are possibly anybody with, access to such spam bots doing all the disliking?
I don't know, honestly. I've never even heard of a spam bot for YouTube.
Oh, there have been quite a few just to spam views, but...
Yeah, I mean, if there were ones for spamming dislikes, and if someone were to use that on that video, I'm pretty sure they would push in a larger amount than just 36. I'm sure it would go push the meter quite far up.
Okay, before we move on, there are a few questions, it seems, in the chat itself. You both sound more tired. I want to eat someone. We've got cannibals. I suppose one interesting one that everybody's already kind of biting at now is who is the owner of Machinima Union at the moment?
Well, now it is the Zarasek, or as majority of people who are close to him on Skype and stuff know him as James. There was a shift in power. It wasn't exactly like, hey, Naga, we're overthrowing you. Get out. Now I'm leader. It wasn't exactly that. It was more of it was kind of from the beginning, honestly. I wasn't exactly fit to be a leader, I guess you could say, or I didn't have the qualities of a good leader, I guess, if there are certain qualities, I guess you could say. There were a lot of people that did doubt my leadership. I'm not gonna flat out say like Jack and Rad did, but they had their opinions and stuff. So did Zed and Obscurity. They were kind of doubting my leadership and what I was capable of, what I wasn't capable of. I kind of realized that now. There was a lot of stuff. Or there were a lot of things that I should have changed, should have not have done, things that I should have said, things that I shouldn't have said. So I can see why they kind of didn't really want to stay. I mean,
right.
Also, I guess you could say my age, which that really shouldn't be a huge factor. Really.
Indeed. I feel that it's mostly about the maturity value than age.
I guess. I mean, it can depend. I guess they kind of said they see it better off as me or someone else taking up leadership, which I kind of do agree now, honestly. It was taking over quite a large amount of time throughout my daily life, and I kind of wanted to step back, because I was usually trying to work with it 24/7, staying up late, trying to skip certain things in school. I just kind of wanted to step back, focus more on my own machinimas, and just a lot of other things. And if they wanted to handle it, and if they wanted to take it up, I mean, sure, be my guest.
Very good. And how do you feel about Zarasek in particular becoming the new owner?
I think he can shape it up, I guess, a little bit more. Yeah. I'm kind of curious as to what he can do with it, or what him and the other staff plan to do. As I don't know. I mean, the majority of the time, there was one staff member in particular. I'm not going to mention his name. That'd be quite rude. But there was one staff member in particular that actually was. We were having a conversation about a couple weeks ago about him wanting me to step down and him step up as a leader because of all these things he wanted to do with the site. But the only thing I really questioned back was, I mean, if you wanted something to be done, you could just ask. I mean, they kind of seemed like if they were to ask, it just I'd automatically just kind of say no, or it couldn't be done or something, or like there were certain things that needed to be done with the site that only that particular staff member had the capability of.
Okay. Very good. Moving on. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, take it from Naga, running a website is probably pretty fucking hard. So, guys,
it's not just all handy dandy.
From what Naga has told me, the weight that is now settling on Zarasek's shoulders is going to be a bit heavy, so please continue.
It can depend. I am interested in what he can bring, yes.
Yes.
What they'll do with it all. I kind of stepped down to being a moderator. I don't really want to be like super like responsible for certain things, I guess, or let me rephrase that. I don't want to have to be there all the time addressing certain things. Like I'll still help out and I'll still be there and I'll still be like doing a lot of stuff, but I don't want to have to be there all the time.
Okay, so now that there's been a shift, quote unquote, in power, how do you think it'll affect the tensions between the two sides?
There are a lot of things going on between the two quote unquote sides. It can all depend on your opinion for it. Not that I'm saying like what you said was wrong, but
no, I mean sites, as in
sites,
websites.
Sorry. You said sides, and I was like, the tension. There's quite a lot of it. It can really depend on your viewpoint. I mean, there's people that acknowledge the tension and they join in, and then the people that just kind of ignore it and they continue on with working with both sides. The shift in power shift. It can all depend, really. The majority of my staff, or the new staff that I had gotten, or what we have now, actually, the majority of them, I guess you could say, don't exactly acquaint well with virus, or they acquainted well in the past.
I see.
In the present now, they never really have.
That is actually a little interesting.
Yeah, it kind of depend, really.
How was the situation between the two sites immediately before the incident?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, we agreed on a friendship, or a mutual agreement, I guess you could say.
A mutual agreement.
There was a lot of accusations between the two sites, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess I will say now I am pretty guilty of accusing them quite a lot, because I don't know if it was them. I mean, I can't really see it being anyone else.
Indeed.
Or anyone else really wanting to. I mean, looking at the site and be like, hey, I'm gonna spam this site. I mean, I'm not just flat out saying, hey, this was all evolved. I pretty much was at the time, or at least 90% was. I mean, the other 10%, like, I was not sure at all, and I had no evidence, really. But just, like, the timing that they were in, or at least all the coincidences that I saw, pretty much pointed the finger at them in my head.
I see.
So, it was really hard to go off with anything else, because there was no one else really to try and think of in my brain.
Yeah. For those of you who are curious about any sort of background information that he may be thinking about, we'll be doing a separate cover story at the end of all the interviews, where we will try to piece together the story chronologically and let everybody come to their own conclusions on.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can draw from all of this.
Yeah.
But going back to what was said, though, the tension between the two sites, it can vary. Considering Virus is leaving the community beginning of June to travel North America, apparently. That's what he's telling everybody else along with his latest video. But
I'll keep my neutrality here and not try to, say anything. Considering the situation between the two websites, we have heard some news, some rumors about Virus proposing that the two sites merge. What was that about?
That was actually mentioned, and have been trying to do so ever since a week, or actually the night before their site launched. I can just give a brief description of the story, I guess. I was about to go to sleep when a Skype call popped up with a Rad and Virus in the call. It was probably the first time I ever talked to Virus in a long time. I never really acquainted with him, or I was never really a friend, or never really knew him before then.
He does seem to be a bit sporadic with his contacting, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, on that night, they were proposing me to merge the sites, and it was really confusing, because I didn't really see what they meant by it. They said merge the sites, and the only thing I could really get out of it was, well, mind my bluntness of this, them taking our site and everything that we have on there, and him being the leader. I mean, that kind of sounds quite rude and all, but saying that, but that's really the only thing I took from it. I talked it over with a lot of the other madmens, like especially Mike, and Mike just kind of flat out said we're not doing it. So
Very.
and then they kind of continued on wanting to do it for time to time from there, still wanting to merge with certain reasons, such as David or Arbiter.
Indeed.
He was supposed to be starting up a website. I don't know where it is now, because the day is about a day or two after MU actually started. I sent him a link to the site. I just wanted his thoughts on it. And he's kind of telling me it was bad timing because he was going to be releasing a site soon, which he said was supposed to be going up possibly in March. That's what his webmasters are telling him. But I don't know. We might be able to expect it soon. Or
considering it's April, yeah, we'll probably have to. There must have been a delay.
longer.
Okay.
Be a fluke, don't know.
Continuing on, this is a question that will probably only affect the owner of the website now, but I'll just ask it to you in a different phrasing. How do you think the site will be protected now that it's back up?
In what aspect? Such as from spammers or from hackers?
Depending on the methods used to quote-unquote hack the website, since, that happened.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can say this. Honestly, the site wasn't hacked itself. The only thing I could really say was my Gmail or my email was hacked, so that's what gave them access to it. Because honestly, ShivTR, the web hosting service, has, or from what they say, has state-of-the-art, defense abilities from it.
I see.
So really, they're a really strong, secure site from hacking. I mean, they're along with such as YouTube is. It's really hard to try and get in there and do some damage to it. Mm-hmm. So the only real way in is from a higher up and grabbing their account and doing all the damage from within that source.
I see. Once we get a little bit more info for the cover story, I have a feeling during the cover story, we're going to present a theory of how it all went down chronologically, and
Yes.
we have an idea of how the website was accessed, given plenty of evidence from plenty of anonymous people.
Yes.
I've already got a few ideas of how it was done, but wait until the cover story and after all of these interviews. But, okay, so this is also related to a question that the admin group will have to answer on their own. But do you think there will be a new system of approving new members so things like this can't happen?
There was it can honestly depend on all. It's hard to determine with each application. We have a pretty strict system of who we let in the site and who we don't. For such as spamming goes, I mean, the spam attacks kind of lingered off from being happening recently. They lingered off about a couple weeks ago to about a month. It's been quite a while since we've had an attack.
I see. I do remember being witness to one such attack with all of the swastikas and everything. But
Oh yes, that's really the only thing that popped up each time was just the swastikas. So I'd say really it's just the same person or one in person with multiple acquaintances.
all right. I think now would be a good time to bleed into the final segment then, and that's just simply discussion. What kind of person do you say... this is just a free mode now. We've gotten through all of our questions, so if anybody in the chat is done watching, you guys can go ahead and leave if you want to. This is going to be the section of the interview where we are just free talking and making speculation. Alright, so what kind of person do you think would say spam swastikas all over a friendly website?
I'd say someone who either has a rivalry with the site, doesn't like the owner, or I don't know. I mean, I guess if you were to say just doesn't like the site in general, and that's kind of a weak reason, because I highly doubt there's someone that comes on here and says, I don't like this website, or this website's boring, I'm just going to spam it with swastikas. That's kind of a pointless reason.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say now, I don't think anybody's polite enough to do that.
Such as my opinion on the dislike button in YouTube. Nowadays, for a community this size, nowadays when you see, if you were to watch a machinima, or if you're seeing all these dislikes, or like a video, and you're seeing all these dislikes, nowadays it's not just because you hated the video. That's probably about like 30 to 40% of why there are dislikes. Or from what I see and from my opinions from other people, nowadays there's only dislikes just because the person who is disliking hates that person or that group of people.
That is a very excellent example. If you guys want to know what he's talking about, look at the like and dislike bar of this very interview as it's live. There are 9 likes and 3 dislikes, meaning there are 3 people who, instead of just turning away from an interview, they decide they would like to dislike it.
I mean, that is okay. Like, that is a good reason, but I mean, as YouTube did put the dislike button on there, like how there isn't, like, is there? I don't believe there is none on Facebook. From what I still know, I haven't been on there in ages. So I mean, that kind of leaves the resort to just like seeing, such as if someone were to see something on Facebook, there's no dislike button, so they can't pop anything on there. Now on YouTube, I mean, they kind of give you a choice of liking, disliking, like showing the new viewers, the audience liked this video or they didn't.
Indeed. And what I want to say to everybody who has these 1 to 3 dislikes on an otherwise perfect video, don't worry about the dislikes, because if you have at least 27 views, you're already breaking even.
I mean, I would say that as well if you were to make your own video. I mean, it can depend on it's just one of those 2 factors, really. They either didn't like the video or they hate that person or group who made it.
Yes.
That's all I can really say about it. I can't think of any other reason why, unless they accidentally clicked it and didn't notice it. That'd be a pretty weak reason. But going back to that other question, the reason they probably would spam the site would be one of those 2 reasons. They didn't like the person, the group, or they were sent to do it. I don't know. It's a pretty it's a long thing to ponder on about, and then for some people it's just a simple reason of they want to do it because they hate the person who owns it or something of that sort. I don't know. It can all depend, especially if you know the person who did it, you can kind of think like, oh, well, that's the reason why. But
here's the part where I get to be mean, since I'm the one doing the interview. I'm just gonna say that the people who would randomly dislike a video because they don't like the person who made the video, I think people who do that have no life whatsoever. If you want proof, on that update video with Lambda and what's his name, Zip Zap Zop, Jinx, you owe me a soda. But
oh man, I just drank one.
On those videos, that video got around over 30 dislikes.
30.
But Mikey and I actually clicked the like button. Why? Because they said they were going to review things that they thought were interesting, and that's exactly what they did. And since Mikey and I are mature adults, we're not going to dislike them just because we don't like them as a person. I think a lot of people need to follow that example.
Yeah, there are quite a well, not a select. There are quite a big bunch of, I guess I don't really want to say just immature people. I guess you could say it's hard to kind of spread them out from the others.
We earned 5 dislikes now.
They don't really have an opinion on it. They just kind of say, I don't like this video, I don't like this person. Boom.
Yes.
I'm going to put it down and make everybody else look at it and be like, man, this video sucks because there's all these dislikes.
Oh well. This is the YouTubes, everybody. Don't freak out about dislikes. Even if you get 1,000,000 dislikes and only 1 like, just keep on chugging away and making your films. This has been an interview with Mr. Naga, and I am your host, Brandy. It's about time to wrap it up. We've been at 30 minutes, which I think is
seems like a decent time.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah,
quite a lot shorter than most of the M&B shows.
Yeah, we usually do like an hour to 2 hours.
Do those kind of drag on for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, we can't do that with this because man, I suck at this. So yeah. Well,
That's okay.
thank you for watching, everybody. If you feel like this is juicy enough to be remembered or whatever, just go ahead and give the link to whoever your heart desires and spread it around. This is just the first interview. Another one will be coming with the same exact question set for the admins of Machinima Union. I suppose I should probably put some links into the description. I'll do that after this is over. Thank you all for watching. Any last words?
Don't think so. Just thanks for watching and thanks for using Machinima Union. Now, goodbye.
Give these guys some support, and we'll catch you guys later.
Goodbye.
And